Sunny, how was your week this week? This week, this month, this year, this fucking bullshit ass 2020.
Well, I'm flummoxed. I'm flummoxed. This week has been crazy. It's been a roller coaster ride. If you guys didn't know, we're going to be a part of Outlier Podfest.
Yay!
This is exciting. This is news. So it's actually this week on Thursday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's open all over the world. Just go to outlierpodfest.com and get your tickets there. And there's tickets for like $5. It's a 2-day thing. And we are going to be hosting a session. And we are going to talk about us and the podcast and building it and you guys, because you guys are amazing. And I'm excited. We're going to give some people some tricks of the trade and what we've learned along the way.
Do we actually know tricks of the trade?
Yeah, I know lots of tricks of the trade. Thank you.
That's something we actually do. Like,
yes,
we know. And
yes,
all that
we
stuff.
know tricks of the trade. We know not to move the mic around. We know to speak up and articulate.
Who does that?
We did in our beginning episodes.
The mic around?
Brandi, we were using a phone.
But were we moving it around? I feel like it was always in one place and we were just like
moving around it and jostling, and you could hear it. You could pick it up in the sound quality. So we're just going to share our knowledge and have a good time and maybe answer some questions, like a Q&A type thing. So if any of y'all out there have any questions for us or anything you want us to talk about, on the Podfest, I will be accepting questions until Thursday morning.
Our session is called Starting from Scratch. Which is exactly what we did.
We started from nothing.
Basically, we had a phone.
That's all you need to start a podcast.
It was just like, downloading stuff and figuring out how to use shit. So.
Yeah. Oh, I've got this huge file on my phone. How do I get it here? It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. So the week was that. I got some horrible news today. So I'm doing. My boss got hit by a car. He's okay. He's not okay.
He's alive.
He's alive. And so that happened earlier today. So I'm a little frazzled. So that's how my week was. How was your week, Brandi?
Let's see. My week was okay. I actually got Okay, so there was this thing that happened in January where there was this bill passed where people who were working as contractors were now being considered employees. And in order to work as a independent contractor, you had to have an EIN.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about your EIN situation.
Right. Well, apparently that law has just been repealed in California.
Okay.
And so one of the companies that I was working for as an independent contractor is like, we've reinstated your account because now blah, blah, blah. You know, we never thought you were subject to this law, but now that we know for sure, here's your account again. Have fun. And so I went back to I logged in and I got a job immediately. So I should be making $200 for a blog post this week, which is amazing.
Cool.
And exciting, except for it is still 10 cents a fucking word, but whatever. And I'm like, okay, I have the same situation with other companies that were like, we're going to shut your shit down if you don't fucking supply us your EIN by this number, this date, whatever. So hopefully they fucking have a change of heart too, but whatever.
And I need you to write that blog post for Beauty's Biscuits.
Yeah, okay. And there is still fucking, distance learning for 5-year-olds happening and fires. Yeah. So, my week was all right. I'm hoping that this week will be much more productive and better. And that is about it.
Oh, and Brandi's birthday is this weekend.
Oh, yeah. And there's that.
Brandi's birthday is this weekend. So she's trying to pretend like it's not happening, but it's happening.
I just feel like I had plans and now those plans have been shot to shit because of the fucking bullshit that our country is going through and our president has been too incompetent to deal with. And, no large gatherings, no this, no that. Cruises are being fucked up and fucked over and all that stuff. And that was my goal. My 40th was going to be a cruise. And now it is going to be me at home by myself with a bottle of wine.
No, it's not. We're going out to lunch. Be quiet.
Yeah, but you know how like you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then it's like, oh, sorry, you're banned from doing anything.
Well, you've had a lot of time
that.
to already come to terms with this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I don't think about. I'm not one of those people that thinks about my birthday all year. Like, there's people that are like that. They're like, oh, my birthday's in 6 months. Are you coming? And you're like, what the fuck, bitch? Why don't you send me a fucking invite like a month before? Don't tell me about it 6 months in advance. I'm not gonna remember that shit. I am one of those people that are like, okay, I give you 3 weeks notice. You have 3 weeks notice. Are you coming or not? But I'm not one of those, like, I'm going to plan this whole thing a year in advance, so you might as well just, like, get on, put that in your calendar now. You know what I mean? So
Brandy's birthday is this weekend. Send her some love, and she'll really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Other than that...
Boys, episode 4? Yeah.
I'm glad that Butcher and his wife finally got to, like, reconnect.
Yeah.
But I feel like fucking Big Brother is like everywhere.
Yep.
Everywhere, even in places that you don't think he is.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be careful with that shit.
I think she
can't just like dart off to under a bridge because there's a camera under a bridge too.
Well, I mean, I watched the episode. You watched the episode. Hopefully, you guys caught the episode. As KT says, spoilers. I think she made a very wise choice. She was like, I can't fuck with you.
Yeah, you want to kill my kid.
I can't fuck with you.
You hate my kid. Like, yeah, like you're a toxic person.
Yeah. So,
but I still love you, but you're toxic. Yeah.
Yes. So I think she made a right choice that way because his hands is so deep in shit.
Because Butcher's like, these people shouldn't exist. And he's right. They shouldn't exist because they were fucking manufactured. They weren't even like...
By Nazis.
Yeah, they weren't even like a genetic freaking, like a mutation.
No,
they were manufactured by the wrong people. Mm-hmm. So I get that. But at the same time, he's like... Because he was like, your kid's a soup freak. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Bye-bye now.
Okay,
he couldn't even like hold in his freaking opinions about it. Your kid's a soup freak. That's fucked up. Like, you're my husband. Because they're still married. She was never declared dead. And there was never a divorce. So they are technically still married.
Yeah.
She's still his wife. He's still her husband. But now he doesn't like the kid because, I mean, fucking Homelander, like, listen. Homelander can make anybody hate anybody. Like, he's an awful, awful thing. I'm not going to say a person because he's not a person. He's a thing. And he's awful. And I feel like whoever Homeland's birth parents are the same people that Stormfront's birth parents are.
They probably related.
Because they're disgusting. They're both disgusting, and that's it.
Hey, we're going to pick this up, but I'm Sunny Hepburn.
You sure about that?
I'm Sunny Hepburn.
And I'm Stormfront's conscience.
And this is Book of Lies, the podcast. Okay. Sorry to jump into that, but I want to talk about Stormfront.
She has no fucking conscience.
She is the worst because she is from You're the Worst.
Look, you're the worst. Exactly.
Aya Cash, she just plays like
likably dislikable characters.
She knows how to evolve, but how about she was like really trying to seduce Homelander. She's like, I'm open for anything you need.
Listen, as we go on, we're gonna figure out that he's lasering her tits. It's weird. They have a weird ass fucking like relationship going on. It's weird. She's like, shut the fuck up and laser my tits.
Laser my tits.
Yeah, and he's like, like, doing the lasers to her boobs. It's weird.
Oh.
And there's a big black spot right in the middle of her tits. It's awful.
Like burning her boobs?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yes, with her eyes.
Oh, and she's into it.
Uh-huh.
Oh gosh. I can't wait.
I feel like she's indestructible just like he is. Some of the superheroes are not indestructible.
Right.
But he is, what's her name? Lady Maeve. She's indestructible. I mean, I'm sure he could like cut her head off and then she'll die, but like I think that's what the case with all of them. If you cut their heads off, they'll die. But
cut their heads off and they'll die.
Like zombies. or vampires.
No, I think you're 100% right. And obviously, I was like, is she immortal or something? So, I think this season's going to be interesting. I was super pissed that they only gave us one episode this week. I was hoping for a 3-banger again.
Yeah, so was I.
And they were like, oh, no, you get one.
Yeah, they're like, we're luring you in with these 3. Now you get one a week for the next fucking 9 weeks or hopefully it's 12 episodes.
It's like you gave me all of these drugs and now you're only giving me like 1 pill a day.
Yeah.
Like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
This is not right.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Welcome, listeners. Sorry, didn't introduce you guys, didn't speak to you. Welcome, welcome to the podcast. If you're a new listener, thank you for listening. To our existing listeners, we're screwing things up. We're messing up the format, but we love you guys. So thank you for coming back. And
there really is no format. It's fucking off the cuff.
It is.
Most of the time.
Definitely connect with us on social. You can follow us on Twitter at Book of Lies Pod, on Instagram and Facebook at Book of Lies Podcast. You can always visit our website at bookofliespodcast.com, where you can listen to all of our previous episodes. You can follow us. You can even find our Patreon, where you could join us on Patreon. We've got a lot of stuff up there. I recently put up a episode, Handmaid's Tale. We recorded that last year.
Was it really last year?
It was last year. Last 2019 when it was all good.
Oh my God.
Well, it wasn't even all good, but we could go out places and be around each other and
be around the public.
Right, exactly. It was a different type of, world. So it was a good time. That's on Patreon now. So our current patrons, we love you guys. Go ahead and check it out. And if you want to join us on Patreon, please do. We've got different tiers, $2, $5, $10. And $20 will get you into the
champagne room.
What's a champagne room song?
There's no sex in the champagne
room. Don't stop, get it.
No, that's not. No, absolutely not. That's the floor level.
Okay. I want to sing Usher songs.
Don't do that.
Don't do it. Do it. Don't do it. Do it. Okay.
I wanna make love in this club.
Oh, Usher baby. Stop it. Usher baby. Okay, so we were talking about The Boys. Check it out. It's a great show. Sorry if we ruined it for you, but get into it because it's great.
Amazon.
On Amazon. Get
Prime Video.
So I did watch the Prime After Dark or Prime After whatever I called it.
Yeah, it's
Prime Review. Something.
Yeah, it's not like The Boys After Show.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, I watched that, and then Aya Cash was on there, and she was just...
It's Prime Review. But yeah.
Aya Cash, she was like, actors don't have it great either. Guess what? We work for the man, too. We work for a corporation as well. She's like, we work for Amazon, because they do. Because...
And Amazon apparently has been treating their employees like garbage since the pandemic started.
Really? Oh, yeah, overworking them, right?
Overworking them, punishing them if they fucking take time off, even if they're sick, or mask wearing. It's just stupid shit. I'm trying to protect myself, and you see I'm trying to protect myself, and you're penalizing me because I'm trying to protect myself from being sick.
Mm-hmm.
And so, cutting hours, fucking suspending people. And they had given them a raise of, I think $4, and then they took it away.
What?
Yeah, it's just, fucked up. They're just doing all kinds of bullshit. And,
well,
it's just a bunch of shit that's been going on.
It's interesting, because it's interesting. The series is good. Check it out. Brandi, what are we talking about today?
This is this right here is bullshit. But we are talking about the Peanut Corporation of America.
Really?
Today. And Stewart Parnell, the asshole behind the Peanut Corporation of America.
Is it about peanuts? Is it real peanuts?
It's peanuts.
Peanut Corporation of America?
Peanuts that grow out of the ground, yeah.
Okay.
So Peanut Corporation of America was a small peanut company that started as, I forgot what it started as. Who gives a fuck? It doesn't even matter because they didn't make a name as what they started out as. But Peanut Corporation of America was founded in 1977 by a man named Hugh Parnell. It was basically a peanut farm, and then he had acquired a roasting company, a peanut roasting company.
Mm-hmm.
So he decided to change the name. They reincorporated as Peanut Corporation of America.
Mm-hmm.
In 1994, Hugh retired. He was like, okay, I'm going to cash in my money because they made a bank. They made bank.
Okay.
And he was like, I'm done. I'm retiring.
Bye-bye.
I'm selling it.
Okay.
1994. Well, in 2000, his son, Stewart Parnell, decides to buy the company. And it's still operating as Peanut Corporation of America, and the company decides to expand. Stewart Parnell decides to expand the company. So they buy plants in Blakely, Georgia, Plainview, Texas, and Suffolk, Virginia. Their original plant is in Lynchburg, Virginia. So they expanded to 4 more plants: Georgia, Suffolk, and Plainview, Texas. Stewart Parnell starts to expand the company. His brother, Michael, comes on as a broker. So he starts brokering their services. We're the peanut plant. We pick the peanuts. We process the peanuts. We're going to send our peanuts and our peanut products to your company. So maybe you make peanut butter crackers. Maybe you make candy that has peanut butter or peanuts in it. Mm-hmm. Maybe you make dog food. Maybe you make any other products that have peanuts in it or peanut butter in it. That's what we're going to start. We're going to start sending our shit to you for you to put in your products. Mm-hmm. So the company becomes a supplier for things like ice cream, dog food, peanut butter, peanut powder, peanut butter cookies, and of course, just straight peanut butter.
Okay.
And they're contracted with places like school districts, prisons, convalescent homes, nursing homes, hospitals, government-funded companies, as well as private organizations like Nestle, Kellogg's, things like that. So I have money coming in from all these areas now because my brother, Michael, is going out and he's making contacts and he's getting our contracts with these private and public companies. There are, of course, the federal food safety agencies that are already in place. The FDA, USDA, the
FFA, Future Farmers of America.
That's not. Basically, the people that are supposed to make sure that the food that you're putting in your body is not going to kill you.
Yeah.
Those people. They're required to regulate food production companies. But of course, those companies already, those government agencies are fucking like lacking fucking resources. They don't have a whole bunch of money. Mm-hmm. They're trying to regulate every single fucking food producer. Remember the whole like the honey thing and
and this is in
the
2000.
USDA, all that shit. Yeah, they're supposed to be regulating all of these things, but they can't. They don't have the resources.
They don't have the bandwidth.
They don't have the resources. They're not being financed properly, so they can't.
Right.
So they're like, we're going to trust you. You make sure your production is up to fucking par.
Okay.
Make sure you're not making people sick. Make sure your product is at least 99% fucking peanut butter or whatever it's supposed to be. You know, just like that whole honey thing.
Okay.
Make sure you're putting out what you're supposed to be putting out. Basically,
so they gave them like, "Hey, do make sure you're doing."
They're like, "You do listen, monitor yourselves because we don't have the fucking bandwidth. Okay. Exactly, we don't have the money, we don't have the time. Mm-hmm. We have to go after bigger fish, like people that are selling fake fucking food products.
We got to go after Skippy
that aren't actually food.
Okay.
They basically rely on these companies to self-regulate.
Okay.
The oversight at the Peanut Corporation of America was fucking minimal, if they had any at all. None at all. So also in the country there's an organization called the Peanut Standard Board. Mm-hmm. Well, our friend Stewart Parnell, the owner of PCA now, because he bought it from his father. Well, actually, he didn't buy it from his father. Whoever his father had sold it to in 1994, he bought it from in 2000. Okay. He's on the board of the Peanut Standard Board. So
His dad?
His son.
Okay.
Hugh's the dad who retired. Stewart is the son who now owns the company.
And he sits on the board.
And he sits on the board of the Peanut Standard Board. Mm-hmm. So they make sure that the peanuts that are going into food products and the peanuts that you're sending out, like people who are buying, I think it's like baseball games mostly that fucking sell those nasty ass fucking peanuts. But peanuts, peanut distributors, they have a quality standard. Yeah. There's a quality standard for peanuts. And Stewart Parnell's on the board of the peanuts. And so he can say yes, no, whatever. And he used this to his benefit.
He uses his power for evil?
Pretty much. So Stewart, as the owner of Peanut Corporation of America, he wants to cut costs and he wants to maximize profits.
Of course.
At this company. So he didn't do things by the fucking books, and the company produced peanut dust. Peanut dust is something that goes into like all kinds of products. Like if you're not producing peanut butter, it's the dust. You know what I'm saying? Well, they would produce peanut dust and it would just sit uncovered like on the production line.
Shelf.
It would just be like, oh, just leave it. They wouldn't cover it up. Well, guess what? They had a fucking rat infestation.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. They had a rat infestation. There would be rat droppings on top of the peanut dust.
And then they're selling that to people.
There would be rat droppings, and then it would rain, the roof would leak. There was fucking bird droppings on the roof. The bird droppings would leach into the water would drip into the product. So now I have rat dropping contaminated, bird dropping contaminated product. And I'm telling my fucking employees, just sweep the rat poop off. Just sweep it off.
Oh, God.
Uh-huh. So they would sweep it off and fucking package it up. And now I'm sending this in contaminated fucking shit to my customers. Mm-mm. Yes. Also, a thing about that is that he had expanded the company. So once he bought the company from his dad, they expanded. And I think I already said that. He bought plants in Blakely, Georgia, a plant in Plano, Texas, and a plant in Suffolk, Virginia. Well, he was exploiting his employees because the Blakely, Georgia company had mostly African-American employees, low-income African-American employees.
So he's exploiting them how?
The Plainview, Texas location had Mexicans. Maybe they were undocumented. Mm-hmm. So if they're bringing up stuff and they're saying, hey, things aren't operating as they should be, or, I can hold over your head that, well, you're not a citizen, or in other cases, well, it doesn't matter because I'm not paying you to talk, or, they're paying them basically like probably below minimum wage. Mm-hmm. These people are busting their asses, trying to process them faster or whatever. They were exploiting their labor force.
Yeah,
because the labor force was basically the type of labor. They weren't unionized.
Yeah,
these are right to work states.
They can't risk losing a job.
Exactly. So they need whatever pennies come in.
Yeah.
And so they're not going to open their mouths, and the ones that open their mouths are being threatened. Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's fucked up.
So basically, that's how he got away with a bunch of this shit. These companies that they were selling peanut products to were companies like Nestle.
Oh, God.
I don't know if Hershey was one of their companies, but like private companies that produce candy or peanut products like peanut butter, things like that. So they had those companies too, but those companies are like, okay, you have your standards, we have ours too. So we're gonna fucking run run the shit you give us through our fucking labs, because all of these companies operate their own independent laboratories. Mm-hmm. They don't have labs on site because that's not that's another cost they have that will be more than just then contracting a lab, an outside lab, which will cost us less money to test samples of the items that we're getting. Mm-hmm. And they also, they have their own quality standards. So maybe your standards are your product needs to be 98% pure. Our standard is 99% pure. Mm-hmm. So you say yours is 98% pure. Okay, great. Now I'm going to send what you send me to my lab. I'm going to make sure that it's up to my standard.
Right.
And so they would do that. Well, their customers' labs will come back and be like, oh, no, this isn't right. Like, you're telling us it's this and it's not.
Are you fucking kidding me? Disgusting. It's nasty. I'm like, that's why I grow my own shit. You gotta grow your own shit because you can't trust shit. Oh, I'm so angry.
Yeah. So
I'm just gonna turn into the Hulk right now because I'm hungry.
Yeah. So, okay, like say it was Nestle, for example. They have their own quality standards, so they would use their own independent labs to make sure the products met their standards. The testing, like the testing from PCA, because they have they hired labs too.
Mm-hmm.
They hired external labs, and their results will take a while to come in. So like, I'm supposed to have you a sample, or I'm supposed to send you a product in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I sent my last sample of product to the lab a day ago, which means that you need to have your shit tomorrow, but the lab results won't come back until the next day, the day after tomorrow. So I'm going to try to get you my shit as fast as possible. So I'm going to tell my people, just send it. Don't worry about the fucking results. Just fucking send it, regardless of the results. Just send it. Then the results come back and say that there's a problem.
This is rat shit. Peanut butter.
There's a problem.
I'm so angry right now. We need to have a trigger warning.
Actually, I thought about posting that beforehand because this affected at least 700 families in the whole country. So, trigger warning, if you are listening to this and you know someone who was affected by a peanut product in this country, you might want to, filter, maybe turn off. I'm not sure because it's going to get worse from here. It's going to get worse.
Oh, you know what? Let's take a quick break and we're going to hear a promo from another podcast.
Okay.
Eyes left, listeners. If you love true crime and you're looking for a twist to the genre, I've got just the spin for you. Zero Dark Murder. I'm Siobhan Nakia, and every week I tell true crime stories from all around the world. And not just any stories. I bring you cases with a military nexus, where the victim or the offender are linked to the armed forces. And don't worry if you've never served. You're more seasoned than you think. The Grim Sleeper, the Golden State Killer, Vanessa Guillen. Even George Floyd's tragic death is linked to the military. You know these stories, so you're a Zero Dark one by default. Join me every Monday, wherever you get your podcast, for Zero Dark Tales so shocking, so unbelievable, you'll never look at the American flag the same way again.
Okay, so Parnell was basically shipping products. He was shipping peanut products to their, other manufacturers without getting lab results back. And here's what sucks. Okay, so there were labs that they had multiple labs that they had contracted to work with them. They would send samples to multiple labs. Some labs would come back positive with salmonella. Others would not. Guess what they did? They used the negative lab results.
Well, of course.
Of course. They used the negative lab results for salmonella. Meanwhile, there were also positive lab results that they chose to omit. Well, they would send those lab results with the product because, our lab's saying, hey, there's nothing wrong with these. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to send those with you. Meanwhile, the ones that are like, hey, stop production, fix this shit. They were like ignoring. They were just straight up ignoring, like acting like they didn't even fucking exist.
Wow.
And one of the things that one of the people in the interview said was like, even if you send a lot, like say you have a product, each production is called a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you sent one sample to one lab, and that lab result came back positive. Mm-hmm. You sent other samples to other labs or to the same lab, and the next sample came back negative, and the other samples came back negative. So I'm sending out 20 samples, basically.
And they all have different lot numbers.
They're all the same lot.
Oh.
It's the same lot. I'm sending out 20 samples of the same lot to different fucking labs, which is you're not supposed to fucking do. Okay. You send out a sample a lot sample to like maybe 2 labs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sending out a lot sample to 40 labs. 3 of those come back positive for salmonella. 17 of those come back negative. Required by law, if any one of those samples come back positive, I'm supposed to scrap that entire lot because that whole lot is contaminated.
It's contaminated, yeah.
Well, what he was doing was, these 3 are saying positive, but these other 17 are negative. So we're going to go with the negative results from all these other 17 labs or these other 17 lot samples. But meanwhile, there's these 3 that are positive, and now all your fucking equipment, everything that you have run these peanut products through is now contaminated. So regardless of the fact that these fucking 3 samples were positive and these 17 were negative, I'm supposed to say positive.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing that.
Because you're greedy.
Because, most of the sample is negative.
That's
so why the fuck, why? It's not really positive, is it? Because salmonella pops up in pockets of samples. It doesn't just pop up in every single area. Like, you know how some bacteria just infiltrate the whole sample?
Yeah.
That's not how salmonella works.
Right.
It's like, okay, it's over here, it's over here, it's over there. But it's not here. Well, people can still get sick.
He's not caring about anybody.
He does not. No, people are not his customers.
I'm like, you eat this peanut butter. You eat this. Let me see you eat it, motherfucker.
Listen, we'll get there. So that's what he was doing. Oh well, that's only 3 samples. The other 17 are fine. We're gonna go with the negative, and then we're gonna white out over that and just say it's a positive. And that's what he did. Instead of just like sending out the fucking negatives, he was whiting out over the negative and putting positive. He was fucking basically manipulating. He was lying, covering up negative samples and saying that they said positive when they were negative. Yes. He was straight out fucking lying. Not even trying to deceive people. Just like, oh, here's some whiteout. Here, put some whiteout over it. Here you go.
Hey, you see this magical tool? It's called whiteout, people.
That's what he did.
It fixes everything. Just white it out.
They were whiting out shit and putting what they wanted it to say.
That's absolutely stupid.
So, they weren't even changing out the equipment, like the equipment that they were using, the equipment that was turning out the positive fucking shit. They weren't even changing equipment. They were using the same old ass fucking dirty equipment. And their issue was this. They didn't want to fucking come up to date into the 21st century. They were using old ass fucking rusty ass equipment.
Yeah.
That wasn't up to par, wasn't, the equipment
up to code.
Yes, exactly. The equipment that every other fucking peanut manufacturing company was using. They were using old equipment from 20, 30 years ago, rusted ass equipment. So at least 6 times before 2004 and 2006, Stewart Parnell shipped out products that came back with negative results. He shipped these products out before the test results even came back. So before they even got the results, he was like, just send it. Just send it. Just send it. Just send them the peanuts. Just send them the peanut butter. Just send them the peanut fucking butter dust. Just send it. Just send it. We don't have the results yet. Who cares? Just send it. So even if it was positive, he would just send it out because that's what he was doing. He didn't give a fuck. Meanwhile, he's making millions of dollars. They're not losing money.
Yeah, of course.
They're not losing any money over this. Okay. So eventually they decided they didn't even care about the negatives. So they would forge certificates of analysis. Again, using whiteout, they would stamp positive over the negative. Because again, putting a stamp on it, positive. Positive means it has fucking sound. Positive for salmonella.
And then they would,
they would white out that and stamp negative over it.
Okay.
Or they would white out the numbers, because it tells you how, it tests positive for like 0.56% salmonella, which is again a number that's not supposed to happen. Like
no salmonella.
Yeah, exactly. No salmonella, 0 salmonella is what they're shooting for. And this asshole's like, oh well, it's 0.56. Let's just put 0.00. Like I think they were fucking with like even like minuscule numbers because they were sending their products to other companies that have higher standards than them. And they were banking on that these companies were not going to send the product that they were sending them, they weren't going to send it to an independent lab to get their own fucking results. Because you might be telling me that your product is fucking,
pure cocaine.
Yeah. And I'm going to test your shit and make sure it is. Make sure you didn't cut that shit with no baby fucking laxative.
Right.
Make sure you didn't put no arsenic in it. Make sure you didn't put no cyanide in it. Make sure that this shit is not going to kill my customers.
Right.
Because I want them to come back to me.
I want repeat business.
Exactly. So if your shit's gonna kill my customers, I'm not gonna sell your fucking shit.
I'm not fucking with your
and I might come after you.
Your peanuts.
You know what I'm saying?
Your peanut dust, bruh.
This
makes me angry though. Like, how dare
this
people?
Is stuff. Listen, peanut butter. That's a WIC item. You are given vouchers for peanut butter on WIC to feed your babies. You know what I mean? That's an item that like they're like here you go. The government will pay for you to feed your babies this product.
I know.
What's supposed to happen when a company has tainted products is that they're supposed to just scrap it.
Right.
The whole lot. One fucking test comes back positive, you throw out the entire lot.
Right. Burn it down.
You sanitize all of your equipment. You start over. That's not what they did. They just continued as normal. I know my shit has salmonella in it, but I'm okay with that. I'm just going to keep on fucking producing as normal. Regardless of the fact that people's lives might be in fucking danger. Salmonella can kill people.
Yeah.
But I don't give a fuck. Continue business as normal, motherfuckers, or you're fired. That's what they did. This whole thing is like this story. That's why I'm like, this guy that I'm doing is a fucking asshole. Because they're like, I feel like I find all the assholes. Okay, anyway. So they had forged certificates, like even the certificates that were like positive for this fucking bacteria. I'm now going to change it to negative and I'm going to send you my product anyway. And if you don't test my product, great for me. If you do, maybe you'll find that little thing in there that's going to fuck up people's lives, but maybe you won't. Maybe they'll get that shit anyway. Maybe they'll get sick, maybe they won't. It's like a whole fucking gamble.
That's what they're banking on.
Right. So some of the companies were doing their due diligence, some weren't. They discover salmonella and they come back to fucking Stewart Parnell like, hey, so your product tested positive for this. And Stewart's like, I don't understand how that happened. Like, this, I'm flabbergasted. This has never happened before.
Right.
And they're like, what can you do? Can you prove that he's lying? So they're, basically they're at the mercy of like, oh, this is a guy that I've been in business with for a while and I trust him, or somebody that's like, you know what, you're trying to fuck us and we're going to end our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those two. Either I'm going to continue doing business with you or I'm not. Mm-hmm. And so Stewart had penny pinched basically to the point where all of his equipment was old ass fucking equipment. The equipment was so old, like there was what you could see where it was like welded together. He didn't want to replace the equipment. He was just getting like patchwork done. So there was like places where it was welded together, and like they had hired new employees that were in the business for a while, and they were like, what is going on here? Like there would be like welders in the background welding shit, like hammering, like shit going on, work that shouldn't have been needed to go on, because if you're up to date with the equipment that's available to your organization, to your business, to your fucking field, mm-hmm. You want to be up to date on all the newest, the latest equipment as possible.
You would think so, but I'm sure it's a lot. It's a high capital item.
Well, you buy. Okay, here's what.
That's capital.
You're
equipment.
Operating a manufacturing company. You want to have the most up to date manufacturing equipment as possible, so that you can compete with your competition.
If they've already got the business, why? I'm just running this damn machine. This money is still coming in. I'm awfully comfortable. If I have to buy another machine, I'm not going to be able to get that Porsche that I want.
But here's what. if you buy the machine, it might be able to produce twice as much.
You're making sense, Brandi. You're
Twice
making
as much
100%.
as you know.
sense.
So you're operating at 50% capacity now because you're using old equipment. You could be producing 100% capacity, but now you're not. You're trying to save money where it doesn't need to be saved because you're going to make the money back in the long run.
You don't have to convince me.
Well, this asshole was like, yeah, he wasn't replacing equipment. They were using old ass fucking equipment, like old, decades old equipment.
Yeah, it makes the most sense.
Fucking conveyor belts that were using like old ass rubber instead of like whatever they use now, neoprene. I don't know, whatever shit that was out of date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to fucking make a fucking factory work on shit that was like 20, 30 years old, where now your competition's like, motherfucker, I'm blowing past you because you refuse to update your shit. So yeah, shit was like being repaired multiple times, being welded, and they hired a new assistant manager by the name of Kenneth Kendrick, who had been in the food manufacturing business for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He was hired for the Plainview, Texas plant, and his history was in testing. Like he had been a food manufacturing, a tester. So that's where his background was. So he was well versed in testing practices and you know how the procedures should work. And so he finds that the plant hasn't even been registered with the FDA.
Wow.
So he calls Stewart and he's like, hey, so I have background in testing and like, you know, I can help you get up to code. I can help you fix all these problems. Stewart's like, no, we have insurance. Just go back to doing what you're doing. Not, oh, yeah, you know what? That would be super helpful because we're about to get our asses chewed.
Yeah.
Not because, oh, you know, we might be putting lives in danger. Not because, oh, we're not doing fucking things as they should be. And not because, oh, we're not even up to code with the FDA. So, yeah, you should help us. No, he's like, nah, we have insurance. Go back to doing what you're doing. Kenneth is like, so I'm going to have to resign. Like 4 months into the job, he's like, I got to go. Because he sees shit's not going right. Yeah. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Fucking costs are being cut. Fucking regulations are being skirted. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Ken is like, I can't. In good conscience, I cannot be involved in this shit. Yeah. Meanwhile, he's like, this is fucked up and people's lives are going to get fucked up. I need to say something. So he starts writing letters. He writes letters to the FDA. He writes letters to local food regulations organizations. They ignore him. Nobody fucking follows up on anything he's written up to anybody.
People are lazy.
That's exactly what it is. It's lazy.
People are lazy.
Well, this is an employee that's like a disgruntled employee. Like, dude, people are going to die.
Eat rat turds thinking it's peanut butter, you might.
People are going to get sick. People are going to die. People are going to be fucking fucked up. Families are going to be ruined. You need to look into this shit. Meanwhile, these organizations are like, nah,
we don't have time for that.
Disgruntled employee. Nah, it's not worth our time. Nah, we don't have the resources. Nah, like, this is the problem that I have with government agencies. They don't give a fuck about anything until it's like billions of dollars in fucking revenue.
You could have prevented it a long ass time ago if you would have fucking listened.
Exactly.
But no.
So, Kenneth was hired in July of 2006. He left in September of 2006.
So this is going on for at least 2000 to 2006.
He left. No, this was going on longer than that. He left in November. He was only there for 4 months.
Okay.
And again, it hasn't been registered with the FDA. This plant, particularly the one that Kenneth was supposed to be working for, has not been registered with the FDA. So it's basically a ghost plant. They are operating. They're doing business. They're sending out food products. They're doing everything like a normal business would, but the FDA doesn't even know they exist. Only the people that work there know that it exists. So Kenneth Kendrick is like, what the fuck is this? The standards that exist to, make the company properly functioning at this plant don't exist. And when he got there, he noticed that they were like trying to seal up holes in the walls to keep like mice from coming in. They had a
Come
mouse.
on.
They had a mouse infestation. They had a fucking bug infestation. There was bugs everywhere. Roaches and beetles. Bugs everywhere. Okay, bugs everywhere. Like imagine, close your eyes and just imagine bugs everywhere.
Thanks a lot.
That's what they had.
You've ruined it for me.
Yes, bugs everywhere.
Ruined.
And this isn't your peanut butter. This is the peanut butter that you're feeding your kids. Blech. Peanut butter, your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, imagine there's bugs in it. There's bugs chopped up and ground into it.
Brandi.
That's what it was.
Okay.
That's what it was. That's how it was. It was bug particles, bug fucking intestines, bug juice, bugs, rat poop, mouse poop.
We got it.
Bugs. Just imagine the most unsanitary conditions that you could be in. That's what these fucking plants were like.
Okay.
Because the people that are responsible for overseeing this shit, the FDA, the USDA, even the local fucking government health agencies weren't sending fucking employees to fucking, like even your restaurants, you have grade A's, B's, C's, and D's. You know, you see that big ass fucking letter when you go into a restaurant. Mm-hmm. Even the fucking health agency is going in there and making sure that the shit that you're getting to eat and the place that the environment that you're eating in is okay.
Right.
They weren't doing this. They're fucking up.
Huge oversight. Huge.
Like, if you had a kitchen in your house that was manufacturing food for people, I guarantee you they'd be up in your business. Like, they won't leave your ass alone. Yeah. But they can't do this for a fucking peanut fucking factory.
Well, he's sitting on the board, right? So he doesn't care. He knows
but that's not the, no, it's not the USDA, and it's not the FDA. It's not the FDA. It's the Peanut Standards Board. There's a Peanut Standards Board, but that has nothing to do with the other companies.
Well, I'm not eating peanut butter or peanuts ever again, so thanks.
Okay, so Kenneth was like, hey, listen, we need to make this work. They were like, no, so he quit. Okay, let's go on. So on the other end, there's people that are eating all of this stuff.
Well, no shit.
They're eating the peanut butter products that are coming off the PCA line. And PCA is also distributing food products to, again, nursing homes, prisons, and schools.
Peanut Corporation of America?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Nursing homes, prisons, schools, government-funded facilities. Meanwhile, they also have private contracts, like whoever makes those peanut butter crackers and things like that. Stuff that has peanut butter in it that you already buy, like the peanut butter crackers. Who makes those? There's a bunch of companies that make
Keebler's.
Yeah, Keebler makes some. They were contracted with Nestle. They were contracted with not Hershey. Another like big fucking brand. And mind you, I'm not talking about the whole peanuts. I'm talking about peanut product. So like Snickers has peanuts, whole peanuts in their things, but like then there's like Twix that has peanut butter, Twix,
it's
shit like that. But it's the same company.
A peanut.
I think they're both Nestle products.
A peanut mixture.
It's like a peanut butter.
Peanut
Reese's,
spread.
like Reese's has peanut butter inside, but their peanut butter is not peanut butter either. It's like, it's weird. Their shit is weird. Like, I know the difference between peanut butter and like some manufactured shit that you're trying to put inside of my fucking my chocolate. But anyway.
Putting something in my peanut.
If I wanted peanuts and fucking chocolate mixed together, I would just get a jar of peanut butter and scoop it. You know what I mean? Anyway.
So people are eating this stuff.
People are eating this fucking shit.
Prisoners, seniors, and children. A
lot of the people that are eating this apparently are immunocompromised people who have had surgeries, people who are pregnant, because again, WIC, when you're pregnant, you can buy peanut butter. When you are postnatal, you can buy peanut butter. When you have babies and toddlers, you can buy peanut butter. That's one of their biggest fucking things is peanut butter. Mm-hmm. You can't even buy almond butter with that shit. It has to be fucking peanut butter.
Give me the peanuts.
So, the type of salmonella that is being contracted through their products is called Salmonella typhimurium. Salmonella typhimurium. So it's the kind that will like make you deathly ill or kill you.
That's fucked up.
If you don't have an immune system that can fight it. It causes severe abdominal pain, vomiting, diarrhea, dehydration, and death. So, elderly people, babies, small children, people, women pregnant who are pregnant, and then people who are battling like chronic illnesses like cancer or HIV or, you know, things that are like life-threatening as it is.
Mm-hmm.
People who get this salmonella could potentially die from it. So it turns out that 46 of the 50 states are having issues with this fucking shit.
Blah.
46
That's fucked up.
out of 50 states have people coming down sick with this fucking shit. Because this fucking asshole doesn't want to cut costs and make shit better and do shit by the fucking book and, you know, produce a quality product. Instead, he wants to send out fucking shit to people because he doesn't give a fuck about them. So this guy has been buying his company, like he's making money, hand over fist. They have not lost a dollar because they haven't tried to fix anything.
Exactly.
So he's bought fucking horse ranches in the fucking country.
Yep.
He's bought boats. He bought the Texas office, the Plainview, Texas office, for his own office. He bought a fucking jacuzzi. He's buying cars. He's a pilot, so he's bought himself a plane. He's spending all the money that this company, this peanut factory company, is making on himself. Not to improve the production, not to improve the quality of product, not to improve the fucking quality of work life for his employees, not to help, like, you know, them fucking in their mental state, because I'm pretty sure they're all fucking pretty browbeaten by now, and they all want to kill themselves because they're working for this asshole. He has bought all this shit for himself. Not trying to improve the work conditions for his employees. Not trying to improve the quality conditions for his fucking customers. He has spent all the money on himself.
Horrible person. I feel like this is the way that your current president would run shit.
Yes, he's been doing that. I wouldn't be surprised if he even fucking bought like stock in this fucking company. I don't think it was a product. I don't think it was a public company. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me because
they don't care about us. They don't care about.
They care about no one but
they
themselves.
care about profit. They don't care about.
It's not even profit.
Goes to.
They care about themselves because as soon as their companies stop making profit, they sell it.
Yep.
And then they go and buy something else.
Yeah, it's fucked up, dude. It's super fucked up. I that's why I'm mad because we need to start spending and buying local and getting your food from the farmers and knowing where you're getting your shit from because you can't trust these motherfuckers. You can't trust them.
No, not at all. Not at all. Okay, so people start getting sick. People start dying.
Damn it.
Okay, so in total, I'm gonna talk about one of the people who died. But in total, 9 people died because of this fucking company. And more than 700 got sick. And that's only that the FDA or the CDC recorded. Yeah. There are probably more deaths and more sick illnesses.
Ate some fucked up peanut butter and shit their brains out and didn't even know like what the fuck happened to them.
Right. So, but this was like people who were chronically eating this stuff. It wasn't like I ate it once. It was like this was a part of my daily routine.
Oh, okay.
So, one of the people was a woman in Minnesota, an elderly woman. She survived lung cancer. She survived brain cancer over the course of 2 years. She was fucking like, they were like, your mom can go home. She survived. She survived these cancers. Mm-hmm. They take her home. She's like, they're like, okay, well, let's take her to a nursing home because she wasn't eating. Like she needed to gain weight. She needed to like build up her
muscles.
Her
endurance.
She has 2 things that she really enjoys to eat: chicken, peanut butter toast. So they're giving her peanut butter toast at this nursing place that she's supposed to be at. And one day the doctor calls her family, her kids, and they're like, you need to come because we don't expect her to survive out, through the day. We don't expect her to last through the day. Meanwhile, they had sent her, they were like, she's going to be fine. She's good. She's going to go home. She's going to live another, however long. But then she goes to this nursing home and they're like, oh yeah, you need to come. She's going to die soon.
The fuck?
That night, she passes away. And her family's like, what the fuck? Like, she was basically supposed to come out of this, like, stronger than ever, like a fucking, victor. And they don't know why she passes, whatever they do, the nursing home does an autopsy on her. The coroner's report finds out that she has sepsis, which is, blood infection. Mm. A couple of weeks later, or maybe a week later, it's in the news. 72-year-old woman dies of toxic infection or something like that. And like, he fucking finds out that they're reporting on his mom. And they're like, what? And it was because of salmonella. Her blood was contaminated with salmonella. They didn't know at the nursing home that that's what it was. They were giving her peanut butter toast. And she died because of that. They had no idea. No idea that this peanut butter was killing this lady.
That's horrible.
And so her family's like, what the fuck? It's this peanut butter that killed her. And meanwhile, all this stuff's going on. Well, fucking in Oregon, because this was in northern Michigan. In Oregon, there's a little boy, a 3-year-old boy who's dying. Like, who's getting sick. I'm sorry, he's not dying. He's getting sick. He likes peanut butter crackers. So he's getting sick and sicker and sicker and sicker. And they take him to the doctor. The doctor's like, just, that appears to be, he's got like some infection. We're not sure what it is. But like, just keep giving him what he likes. And he's not like one of those kids that likes sugar, like ice cream or candy or sweets. He likes peanut butter crackers. They're giving him peanut butter crackers. The doctors are like, he's got salmonella poisoning. And the family's like, well, what could it be? Because, the typical salmonella poisoning is fish or chicken. It's not fucking peanut butter. So they're like, what is it? What is it? Why is he getting this? And so they take a stool sample from him. They send it to the lab. They find out it's from this fucking peanut butter. They stop giving him the peanut butter. He's fine. He's fine.
I would punch bitches in the fucking face.
And they're like, why is our son getting fucking salmonella from this peanut butter? The company is not saying shit. Remind you, the company's not saying shit about the fucking salmonella, right? So, okay. Government agencies figure this fucking shit out. They're like, this is not okay. Nothing of this is okay. People are dying. 9 people have died. People are fucking getting sick. Over 700 people across fucking 46 states are sick. They decide we're going to fucking go after this company because all of the fucking peanut butter, all of the salmonella tests are coming from this PCA, this fucking peanut butter
crap association,
Peanut Corporation of America. So they file a lawsuit. Well, Mr. fucking Stewart Parnell's like, whoa, he's like, yeah, exactly. And you're like, okay, sure. They file suit against him, his brother, and like a couple other people that are involved.
Good.
And during the legal proceedings, one of the prosecutors is like, I'd like to invite Mr. Parnell to taste one of his products that that he's been sending out and thinks that is okay for everybody else to eat, that he's been sending out to your friends and family and thinks is okay for everyone else to eat.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I plead the fifth.
Put it in your mouth, you dumb bitch.
He pled the fifth on everything.
I would have held him down.
He didn't attempt to eat it.
I would have stuck it all in his mouth.
He didn't even try to do pretenses where I'm just gonna lick this and put it on a piece of paper, wipe it off on a fucking napkin.
Absolutely not.
He said, I plead the fifth. And him and his brother are finally fucking convicted because they fucked up. But they didn't go after them on charges of manslaughter because the lady, she died. The boy, he survived. So they get sued. They try to get him to taste his fucking products, and he's like, nah, I'm not doing that. So, yeah, he didn't even try. The company filed for bankruptcy on September 13th, 2009. Because they couldn't fucking pay no more. So they were like, we're bankrupt. So they filed for bankruptcy. They didn't have recall insurance because, oh my God, their shit resulted in the largest fucking recall in the country's history at that time. In 2009, it was the largest recall at the time. And they didn't have the fucking insurance. So their companies basically went under.
Good.
The food suppliers that they worked with received $200 million and short-term recall losses. And so instead of going after them on manslaughter charges or murder charges, they went after them for something like mail fraud and conspiracies to commit fraud, things like that. Because it will be easier to prove instead of, murder charges and...
Well, yeah, that's easier to prove. And I feel like they don't care.
Wrongful death and all those things. Because they said people could understand those things other than, like, murder, wrongful death. They, like, I guess the jurors...
Because that's who, at the end of the day, makes the decision.
Mm-hmm. So they were like, we could see how the jurors would come down on the side of the fraud instead of, like, murder, wrongful death, those things. Because people died. 7 people died.
He's a fucking asshole.
Sorry, 9 people died.
Fucking asshole.
So they were both, Robert Parnell and fucking Stewart Parnell, were both convicted in September of 2014 of 71 counts, including...
71 counts?
71 counts.
Shit.
Including conspiracy, fraud, and other federal charges, it says. In July 2015, federal authorities recommended a sentence of life imprisonment for Stewart Parnell. Daniel Kilgore, which was one of the people that he worked with, and Stuart Lively, another one. They were both former plant managers.
They deserve the business too, because they allowed that shit. If you're the plant manager, you got to see what's going on.
They pleaded guilty.
Good.
Unrelated charges that became government, and then they turned witness for the government in the case, and he got sentences like literally the maximum sentence was like 3 months, and they were like, "No, you're getting like 21 years."
Good, you son of a bitch.
I believe it was 24 years, but yeah, they gave him an unprecedented amount of sentence of prison time.
Yeah, eat the peanut butter. You think it's okay to send it to everybody? Look in prison, all he would get is peanut butter. Be afraid.
So yeah, he what's his name?
Stewart Parnell.
Stewart, his brother Michael. They went to prison. They had more than 20 years in prison, both of them. And yeah, that was like for what the case was the longest ever sentence that they ever, because the maximum they were like supposed to get was like 3 months.
That's funny.
So
they threw the whole fucking desk at him.
They were like, "You killed 9 people." He killed more people on paper. He killed more people than fucking Charles Manson did
on paper
through his actions.
Yeah, no doubt. And it was just blatant disregard for
human life,
for
anybody's health. Exactly,
it's wrong,
and that's why. So he could die in prison because he's already like in his 50s.
Anybody could get it in prison.
No, I mean like just sitting behind bars, he could die in prison because what's the lifespan for a man? Like 70 years, maybe 80.
Depends on how he's been living.
So he could die.
Oh well, Stuart. Yeah, you do find the assholes. You find them, girl. All right, cool. Thumbs up for the week.
Oh my god. Okay. No, I downloaded an app called Fit On, and I actually had downloaded it a long time ago, but I had to reset my phone a few months ago, and it took all my apps off. So I re-downloaded this app called Fit On. Mm-hmm. It gives you basically a free custom workout plan, and then there's other workouts like free workouts that you can do. Mm-hmm. So yesterday I was like, I need to work out because I've been trying to do my daily walks, and of course that sometimes happens and sometimes doesn't.
At least you're trying.
But yesterday I was like, let me just download this app, and it's Fit On because I didn't do a walk yesterday. And it does you put in your fitness goals, your age, your height, and all that shit, and then it like compiles and then you put in like what you like HIIT, cardio, yoga, whatever. And I put all that in there. So it provides you with workouts, and I think you get like 4 to 5 workouts to choose from for the day. Mm-hmm. And so yesterday, I did a HIIT workout, and it actually very tight. I mean, like my throat was burning. I was like, I couldn't breathe. My throat was burning. I was like, damn it, I'm so out of fucking shape. This is embarrassing.
But I love it. That's how you get back into shape. Like, you got to get your ass beat a couple times before you're going to dominate.
Well, I did the workout because it's like, I went outside because it was like afternoon. I think it was like 4
Okay.
or 5 o'clock. So it wasn't super fucking hot. And I, it was on my phone. So I put my phone against the fence and I did the workout mostly. I didn't do the fucking push-ups. So I was like, I'm not fucking doing push-ups on this hard ass ground. But I did that and I was like, okay, I can do this. I feel like I can do the workout. As long as they're not, like, I don't want to do any floor workouts. Like, the ones that need mats, I don't want to do those. Because we have these big-ass, red-ass ants out there. And I'm not trying to fucking put my mat out there with these big-ass red ants. It's not fucking, it's not a thing that I want to do. I don't want to do it inside either because I don't have room in there. So, but I feel like, a combination of the workouts maybe I can do.
You'll figure it out.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll figure it out. But, I feel good. Like yesterday, I was like literally like, I couldn't breathe. My throat was hurting, like burning from like trying to breathe.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, like I can work up to I can work up to the stamina to do this, and then like move up to the next tier or whatever. Because I didn't show that they had like fitness tiers, but
I gotcha.
You know what you're capable of, and blah blah blah. So I was like, okay, yeah, I will use this for as long as it benefits me,
That's
whatever.
Good.
And then, getting back on with this company that like hires independent contractors / fucking writers, whatever. It's still kind of bootsy, but it's better than some of these other ones. So I'm going to work with it for now and see what I can do. What's your thumbs up for the week?
Outlier Podfest. Check us out there. Check out our session, starting from scratch. We're going to talk about how we started from the bottom. Now we're here. So that should be exciting Thursday, guys. So check us out. I'm really excited. Hopefully we'll put something magical together. And if you want to ask us anything, send us a message. Slide in the DM, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, email us, bookofliespodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, we're not that hard to find.
We're really not. We're super nice. Super nice. So, thank you so much for listening. And if you like this episode, please leave us a review and subscribe and come on back. Check us out online at bookofliespodcast.com and connect with us on social if you are not already. Book of Lies Pod on Twitter. Book of Lies Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. And I'm Sunny Hepburn.
And I'm Brandi Flakes.
And this was Book of Lies. The podcast.
It's BOLP, bitches. Didn't say it in the beginning either, but it's BOLP, bitches.
Brandy's a BOLP bitch right now.
BOLP. It's BOLP. The bitches, the BOLP, the bitches.
Okay. Bye-bye.